Very, very good morning to all of you guys. Welcome back after a long break. I hope you guys are doing good. Further, in the last session, I discussed process costing. I hope you guys are thorough with this concept of process costing and you guys were able to solve the questions. So, good morning, everyone. So, now, process costing, as we discussed, it was a method of costing. So now let's start with one more important chapter from examination point of view. Again, it's a method of costing only, that is service costing. So let's start with this chapter, service costing. One second. Good morning, Almas. Good morning, Priyanshi. Good morning, Vishal. So let's start with this chapter, service costing. Now, when talking about service costing, it's a method of costing used by those companies who are into service sector, and further this costing is used to calculate the cost per unit of service. I repeat again, guys, when talking about service costing, it's a method of costing used by those companies who are into service sector. Further, this is used to calculate the cost per unit of service, and accordingly they can fix up the selling price or the amount to be charged from the customers. When talking about the service industry, it can be either hotels, hospitals, salons, gym, toll roads, toll collection agencies. Further, we can say IT consultants and all. So these are all service provider, and they use that is service costing to calculate the cost per unit of service. So, good morning, Boomer. So, when talking about service costing, it's a method of costing used by those companies who are into service sector. Further, cost per unit of service. Now, very important, guys, there are various industries, service sectors we will be discussing throughout these sessions. When talking about the important part, transportation industry is the most important part, and we'll be covering most of the questions of transportation industry. So again, the chapter is very easy. Hardly there are any concepts. Very simple. You have to calculate the total cost divided by units. You will get the cost per unit of service. Yes. So it's just like a cost sheet, but wherein cost sheet we discuss the various steps, that is prime cost, work cost, factory cost, whatever it is. In this, there is no such format. The format is very simple. You have to calculate the total cost divided by the units of service. You will get the cost per unit of service. So yes, from examination point of view, transportation industry is very, very important. Let me discuss how this works with the help of an example. Let's say I'm running a bus service from Mumbai to Ahmedabad. I'm running a bus service from Mumbai to Ahmedabad. When talking about the distance, the total distance is, let's say, 500 kilometers. Further, when talking about the cost plus profit, the total expected revenue per trip is, let's say, 50,000. And let's say the seating capacity of the bus is 50 passenger, and on an average, assuming that the bus is fully occupied. So seating capacity, so now this is the situation. Now, suppose if the company want to calculate the total fare to be charged from every passenger. Can you guys tell me how much fare the company will charge from the passengers? I repeat again, the expected revenue per trip is 50,000. The distance traveled is 500 kilometers and the seating capacity is 50 passengers. अब कंपनी को क्या करना है, एक पैसेंजर से कितना लेना है, you have to tell me. Waiting for your answers, guys. How much fare the company will be charging from every passenger? Waiting for your answers. Very good, Vishal. Okay, so Vishal, very good. Dharani, very good. Priyanshi, very good. Neeraj, Bhuma, Rohan, very good. Gurmeet, very good. Yes, as everyone said, and all the answers are correct. What the company will do? Very simple. They will calculate the fare per passenger. That is 50,000 divided by 50 passengers. So fare per passenger will be how much? 1,000 rupees per passenger. Very good, Almas. All your answers are correct. Let's take one more situation. I approach the bus company. That I want this full bus on rent for Mumbai to Ahmedabad. I repeat again. So I approach the bus company that I have a trip from Mumbai to Ahmedabad. So can you guys tell me how much fare you will be charging per kilometer? They won't charge per passenger. They will be charging per kilometer because I'm taking the full bus on rent. So can you guys tell me how much fare the company will be charging for every kilometer? When you take a complete bus or cab on hire, they do charge on the basis of kilometers traveled. So herein also we will be calculating the fare per kilometer. So how much fare will be per kilometer? So Bhuma, very good. Dharani, very good. Priyanshi, very good. Vishal, Gurmeet, very good. So, second thing, if the entire bus or cab is taken on rent, then they will be quoting the fare per kilometer. So, herein also we have the total expected revenue divided by the number of kilometers. We will get the fare per kilometer. That is 50,000 rupees divided by 500 kilometers. So we'll be getting 100 rupees per. Very good, Prem Kumar. So now, if the full bus is taken on rent, they will be charging the fare per kilometer. If the bus, they are just running a general bus service, they will be charging fare per passenger. Now, this is a direct bus service from Mumbai to Ahmedabad, wherein the distance traveled is 500 kilometers. Now, let's take a different scenario. Now, see, there are two stops between Mumbai to Ahmedabad. Let's say Surat and Vadodara. Let's say distance from Mumbai to Surat, it is let's say Mumbai to Surat, it is 250 kilometers. Surat to Vadodara, it is 150 kilometers. And Vadodara to Ahmedabad, the balance kilometer, that is 100. So the bus take two stoppage before reaching Ahmedabad. That is first at Surat, second at Vadodara, and last stop is Ahmedabad. Now, herein it's a general passenger bus. Now the bus has to calculate the fare to be charged from every passenger. The bus has to calculate the fare to be charged from every passenger. So now the point is how to calculate. See, 50,000 is the revenue. 50 passengers are on an average traveling. So the fare per passenger was 1,000 rupees. So that was the fare from Mumbai to Ahmedabad. We can't charge this fare from Mumbai to Surat or Surat to Vadodara or Vadodara to Ahmedabad. Herein, see, apart from the passengers traveled, the distance traveled is also important. So herein, in this scenario, very important, guys, apart from the passengers who are traveling from Mumbai to Ahmedabad, the distance traveled by passenger is also very important. So herein, two factors are contributing. Two factors are the key factors or important factors, that is the distance traveled and the number of passengers. So herein, since there are two units involved, so we do calculate. See, passengers are also involved and kilometers are also involved. So we will be considering both, that is the passengers as well as the kilometer. So what we will do is we will first calculate the passenger kilometer. So we'll be first calculating the passenger kilometers. See, 50 passengers are traveling. On an average, the bus is traveling for 500 kilometers. So the passenger kilometers are how much? 25,000 passenger kilometers. Yes, assuming that the bus is fully occupied, Priyanshi. So herein the distance traveled are also important and the number of passengers are also important. So we have calculated the total passenger kilometer. That is, suppose let's say 20 persons boarded bus from Mumbai and they got down at Surat. Now, from Surat, assuming that the 20 passengers, board the bus from Surat, assuming that the bus is fully occupied, no seats are vacant. So herein we have calculated the passengers kilometer. I'm continuing from here. So now let's calculate the fare per passenger kilometer. See, 50,000 is the total revenue expected divided by 25,000 passengers. So it is rupees 2 per passenger kilometer. सीधी और आसान भाषा में ₹2 इज द फेयर पर पैसेंजर किलोमीटर. एक पैसेंजर का 1 किलोमीटर का हम लोग कितना लेंगे? ₹2. So let's say, I repeat again, for every passenger, for every kilometer traveled, will be charging how much? ₹2. एक पैसेंजर से 1 किलोमीटर का ₹2 लेंगे. So suppose if a person is traveling from Mumbai to Surat, how much distance he is traveling? 250 kilometers. How much is the fare per passenger per kilometer? ₹2. एक पैसेंजर से 1 किलोमीटर का हम लोग ₹2 लेंगे. तो अगर एक पर्टिकुलर पैसेंजर 250 किलोमीटर ट्रैवल करता है, हाउ मच फेयर विल बी चार्जिंग? 500. सपोज सूरत टू वडोदरा, Again, Surat to Vadodara, the distance is 150 kilometers. और एक पैसेंजर से 1 किलोमीटर का we have to charge ₹2, so the fare will be ₹300. And suppose Mumbai to Ahmedabad, again the distance is 500 kilometers. Per passenger per kilometer we have to charge ₹2. So again the fare will be 1,000. Very good, Boomer. So I hope this part is clear to all. Anyone having any doubts, guys? Very good, Gurmeet. Very good, Boomer. Anyone having any doubts? So herein, see, in these two, we have calculated first the fare per passenger only with one element. Assuming that the bus is a non-stop bus, he's traveling directly from Mumbai to Ahmedabad. So very simple, total revenue divided by passengers, we will get the fare per passenger. So herein only one unit was involved. Second thing, if we take a full bus on hire, then again the transport company will be quoting the fare on the basis of kilometers traveled. So herein also one element was important, that is the distance traveled. So we calculated the fare per kilometer. But when very important point, when two elements are involved, first is the distance traveled also, and second is the number of passengers traveled. So we have to consider two elements. So herein we have calculated the passenger kilometer. So when talking about these two, since only one element is involved, see, we call it a single unit. And when two factors are or two elements are involved, we call it as composite unit. When talking about the practical applicability, this method, composite, is widely used and practically used by all the companies. So anyone having any doubts or queries, you guys can please post again. The point is, I want everyone to actively participate in the sessions so that, I try my level best to keep the sessions interesting. I'll be putting a few questions in front of you, and I want every one of you to answer these questions. आपका confidence बढ़ेगा, and you'll feel better that, okay, I'm also understanding the things. Anyways, guys, so if you guys have any doubts, you guys can please post your queries. Further, I request you guys to please copy this explanation, that what is single unit, what is composite unit. Further, waiting for your queries. Giving you 2 minutes time, guys. So I discussed that units can be two, either single unit or composite unit. So when talking about transportation industry, as we discussed, when talking about single unit, it can be either cost per kilometer, cost per passenger. In goods transportation, it can be cost per ton or cost per mile or cost per kg, whatever it is. When talking about composite unit, it will be either cost per ton kilometer, cost per passenger kilometer, cost per ton miles. When talking about hotel industry, so when talking about single unit, it can be cost per room, cost per day. And when talking about composite unit, it will be cost per room day. Further, in hospitals, it will be cost per patient or cost per bed. And composite, it can be cost per patient per bed. So these are the few examples of single unit and composite units. This is not the complete list. So it may change or it may vary from question to question and industry to industry. I request you guys to copy this part for your reference. Again, guys, when talking about the concept parts or notes part, I request you guys to always write it down in your notebook. Again, as I said earlier also, what you will write, you will remember it forever. So keep a notebook with you and keep on writing at least the concepts part. Now, guys, as I said, there are two units, single unit and composite unit. Further, in transportation industry specifically, this composite unit can be calculated using two ways, that is either simple average method or weighted average method. So we call it as commercial and absolute. When talking about commercial, it uses simple average approach, And when talking about absolute, it uses weighted average approach. Let me discuss this concept with the help of an example. The similar question is there in the study material also. Further, I have provided notes. So I request you guys to please download it from the portal, giving you 2 minutes time. Please download. I'll be discussing a question from my notes. Again, the same question is there in the study material also. So let's start with example number one from my notes. Again, the same question is there in the study material. So you can check either of the, anything. So let's start with example number one. A lorry starts with a load of 20 metric tons of goods from station A. I repeat again. Illustration example number one. A lorry starts with a load of 20 metric tons of goods from station A. It unloads 8 metric ton in station B and balance goods in station C. So there are 3 stations what the lorry is traveling, just like Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Surat and Vadodara. Again, this is a road transportation based question. A goods transportation based question wherein there are 3 stations A, B and C. So let's proceed further. On return trip, it reaches station A with a load of 16 metric tons loaded at station C. The distance between A to B, B to C, and C to A are 80, 120, and 160 kilometers respectively. Compute absolute metric ton kilometer and commercial metric ton kilometer. Again, this is a part of composite unit. When talking about absolute, it uses weighted average approach. And when talking about commercial, it uses simple average approach. So let's start with this question. Now, very important, guys, it's an important tip. See, whenever you find these types of questions, try to prepare it in a diagram form. Diagrammatic. Try to convert the question in a diagrammatic form. So let's see how. See, the bus is starting from station A. It is going to station B. And from B, it is going to C. I repeat again, the bus is starting from station A. It is going to B and from B to C. And in the return trip, it is coming directly to A. So this is the diagrammatic presentation of how the bus is traveling. That is A to B, B to C, and C to A. Now, very important, guys. The truck started with a load of 20 metric tons. Truck में 20 metric tons load हुए and it traveled to B. So how many metric tons traveled from A to B? Very simple, 20 metric tons. 20 metric tons traveled from A to B. Now what it says, it unloads 8 metric ton in station B. स्टेशन बी पे 8 metric tons अनलोड कर दिया और बैलेंस लोड के साथ they went from station B to C. So it means what? How many metric tons traveled from B to C? Very simple. See, they have unloaded 8 metric tons. So we are left out with 12 metric tons and 12 metric tons are traveling from B to C. When talking about the return trip, on return trip, it is given clearly that it reaches station A with a load of 16 metric tons loaded at C. So C पे वापस return में कितना load किया? 16 metric tons. And it went directly to A, so 16 metric tons. So these are the details of the metric tons traveled from various stations. Now when talking about, see, their question is asking us to calculate the ton kilometer. That is metric ton and kilometers also. So the second element is kilometer. So when talking about kilometer, see again the distance is given from A to B, it is 80 kilometers. From B to C, it is 120 kilometers. And if they are coming directly from C to A, the distance is only 160 kilometers. So this is the diagrammatic presentation of the question. Now you can easily calculate the metric ton kilometer. So very simple, from A to B, how many metric tons? 20 into the distance traveled, that is 80. So A to B 20 metric tons ने travel किया, कितने kilometers? 80 kilometers. From B to C, 12 metric tons traveled for how many kilometers? 120 kilometers. And from C to A, 16 metric tons traveled for how many kilometers? 160 kilometers. So we can easily calculate the 10 kilometers. So total it is 5,600 ton kilometer. So anyone having any doubts in this part? Very good, Vishal. Very good, Gurmeet. Now, this uses the weighted average approach where we have converted the question into a diagram and then we have solved the question. Now, when talking about the simple average, or we can say the commercial part, very simple. It is distance traveled into average tons. So when talking about the distance traveled, it is 80 plus 120 plus 160. So it is 360 kilometers into the average weight. See, from here it is 20, thereafter 12, thereafter 16 divided by 3. It's a simple average of the tons traveled. So 20 plus 12 plus 16 divided by 3. Multiplied by 360. So this will be 5760. Very good, Almas, Vishal, Gurmeet. So I hope this part is clear to all. When talking about composite unit in transportation industry, either we can use weighted average or we can use simple average. Anyone having any doubts? Yes, Vishal, Booma. Gurmeet, Rani, Kirti, Anshu, Jayendra, Kaushik. Neeraj Patel, Prem Kumar, Rohan, Almas, Meenu. Anyone having any doubts? Sneha? Mr. Pawan Kumar C, 5,600 metric tons, 20 metric tons travel किया 80 kilometers, 12 metric tons travel किया 120 kilometers, and 16 metric tons travel किया 160 kilometers. So the total is 5,600. So this, you will get 5,600. Yes, because again, here in Rohan, this is a simple average and this is a weighted average. So the answers will be different, my dear. Now, very important, guys, very, very important part. Whenever the question is silent, you have to use this approach. Very important, guys. Whenever the question is silent, you have to always use the weighted average approach. This is to be used only when mentioned. ये मेथड आपको तभी यूज करना है जब क्वेश्चन में क्लियरली बोला है कि यू हैव टू यूज कॉमर्शियल टन किलोमीटर और कॉमर्शियल पैसेंजर्स किलोमीटर, whatever it is. But yes, this method is to be used even if the question is silent. I request you guys to please copy this explanation. So for now, all the remaining question will be discussing this method only. This method is not to be used. It is to be used only when clearly mentioned in the question. So let's start with one more question. Again, question from my material. Example number 2. So let's start with example number 2. Calculate total passenger kilometer from the following information. So the number of buses are 6. Okay, so the question is asking us to calculate the total passenger kilometer. So again, we'll be using the weighted average approach only now. So the number of buses are 6. The number of days operating in a month, it is 25. So the bus is operating for 25 days in a month. Trip made by each bus per day, it is 8 trips. So every bus is making 8 round trips, and the distance covered one side, it is 20 kilometers. The capacity of the bus is 40 passenger, and normally 80% it is utilized. I mean, the occupancy is 80%. So let's start with example number 2. Herein also, see, very simple, guys. We will first calculate the kilometers and then we will calculate the passenger kilometers. Kilometer, I'm just calculating for your reference. See, the bus is going for 20 kilometers. That is okay. So the bus is going 20 kilometers onward plus 20 kilometers return. So in one trip, the bus is traveling for 40 kilometers. Now, so in a day, in one trip, the bus is traveling for 40 kilometers. And very important, I repeat again, guys, एक trip में total 40 kilometer bus travel करती है. And per day, they are making 8 trips. See, it is given trips made by each bus per day, it is 8. So one round trip, 40 kilometers. And since the bus is traveling for 8 times in a day, so 8 4s are 32, 320 kilometers in a day. Further, for how many days the bus is operating? It is operating for 25 days in a month. So the bus is operating for 25 days in a month. So we can easily calculate the total distance traveled by one bus, that is 40 kilometers, one round trip, total 8 times in a day, so 320 kilometers in one day. So for 25 days, we can easily calculate for every bus. Now herein, there are total number of buses are 6. So for 6 buses, how much it will be? So we'll get the total distance traveled by 6 buses in a month. So 40 kilometers one trip into 8 times in a day. So 320 kilometers in a day into 25 days in a month. So one bus is traveling for 8,000 kilometers in a month, and total there are 6 buses. So this will be 48,000 kilometers. Very good, Vishal. Very good, Gurmeet. Now, when talking about the passenger kilometer, so again, very simple, guys. The bus is traveling for how many kilometers? 20 kilometers. Now, 20 kilometers, कितने passenger लेके जा रहा है? Again, that is also very important. So see, the capacity of the bus is 40 passenger, and on an average, the occupancy is 80%. So 40 passengers travel कर सकते हैं, but occupancy 80% रहती है. इसका मतलब क्या है? Total 32 passengers travel कर सकते हैं. So 20 kilometers, they are carrying how many passengers? 32 passengers. 20 kilometers बस जा रही है कितने passengers को लेके? 32 passengers को लेके. Again, the bus is coming back again for 20 kilometers with how many passengers? 32 passengers. Into how many times in a day? 8 times in a day. Into 25 days in a month. Into total number of buses are 6 buses. So we'll get the passenger kilometers also. That is 15,36,000. So whenever you find a question on transportation industry, and if they're asking you to calculate the kilometers or ton kilometers or passenger kilometer, just try to convert the question in diagrammatic form. I assure you, all your answers will be correct. So this is the way you guys have to solve. Anyone having any doubts or queries, you guys can please post. Very good, Almas. Very good, Priyanshi. Very good, Vishal. Very good, Gurmeet. Very good, Bhuma. Passenger kilometer, please repeat. So, Rohan, very simple. How much is the distance traveled? 20 kilometers. One second. Unit of measurement in transportation that represents one passenger traveling one.
Recording in progress.
So, I hope every one of you are thorough with the concept. So, I'm putting up a question in front of you, and I want every one of you to solve this question. So there is a question for you guys. A transport company is running a bus between two towns. The distance traveled for the round trip is 60 kilometers. The seating capacity of the bus is 50 passengers. When talking about the occupancy, in the onward journey, the occupancy was 90%, and in the return journey, the occupancy was only 80%. The bus makes two round trips in a day and operates for 28 days in a month. So I request you guys, to solve this question and post your answer, giving you 3 to 4 minutes time. I want every one of you guys to post your answers. So waiting for your answers. Okay, so I've got answer from Neeraj Patel. Let me check Neeraj. Yes, Priyanshi. Okay, so Gurmeet, correct answer. Prem Kumar was the first one to answer, and your answer is correct. Very good, Prem Kumar. Very good, Gurmeet. So I've got correct answers from two students. Sneha, please recheck your calculation. Your answer is incorrect. Giving you 3 to 4 minutes time. I want you guys, every one of you guys, to post your answers. So very good, Bhuma. Your answer is correct. Pavan Kumar, very good. Your answer is correct. Anshu, very good. Your answer is correct. Meenu, very good. Your answer is correct. Sneha, please recheck your answer. Okay, so Priyanshi Tak, incorrect answer. Sneha and Priyanshi, please recheck your answer. Rest all waiting for your answers. Yes, Shreya Gupta, Almas, Bhuma, Rohan, Neeraj, Miss Tanmozi. So Bhuma, your answer is correct. Very good, Bhuma. Rohan, very good. Your answers are correct. Vishal, very good. Your answers are correct. Neeraj Patel, I have not received your answer. Jayendra Pokhale, incorrect answer, my dear. Sneha, again incorrect. Almas, now it is correct. Very good. Okay, Neeraj, I think you posted first, so your answer was correct. So very simple, guys. When talking about the kilometers, very simple. Onwards, it is 30 kilometers. Return, it is 30 kilometers into 2 times in a day into 28 days in a month. So it was 3360 kilometers. Further, when talking about the passenger kilometer part, see, for 30 kilometers, the bus traveled with 50 into 90%. That is 45 passengers. In the return journey, the bus traveled for 30 kilometers with how many passengers? 50 into 80%. That is 40 passengers. Into 2 into 28. So I'll get answer 142,800. I hope you guys are feeling better after discussing this question. No worries, Sneha, that's okay. So let's take one more question. Let's take one more question. Those who want to copy this part can please copy. Those who want to note down the question also can please note down. No worries, Sneha. I want correct answer in the next question. Rest, it's okay. I hope you are thorough with the concept, Sneha. Okay. Let's take one more question. So, a 10-tonner lorry is transporting ore from mine to warehouse. Lorry carries full load in the onward journey and after unloading, it returns empty. Distance one way. Distance traveled one way is, let's say, 15 kilometers, and number of trips in a day is 5 and lorry operates for 26 days in a month. So a 10-tonner lorry is transporting coal from mine to warehouse. Lorry carries full load in the onward journey and after unloading it returns empty. The distance traveled one way is 15 kilometers and the number of trips in a day is 5. And lorry operates for 26 days in a month. Again, you have to calculate the kilometers and 10 kilometers. Waiting for your answers. So I've got answer from Prem Kumar. Let me check. Got answer from Priyanshi also. Meenu, Anshu, Jayendra. Let me check first. Okay, so Jayendra Pokale, the kilometer calculation is correct. Anshu, kilometer calculation is correct. Meenu, correct answer. Priyanshi, correct answer. Prem Kumar, let me check the final answer. But rest, I think many students posted the kilometers. So waiting for the final answers for 10 kilometers. So Neeraj Patel, I think your answer is correct. Very good. Pawan Kumar, please recheck your answers. Rohan Sahu, kilometers are correct. Vishal Chaudhary, Priyanshi Tak, I've got answers from everyone. Okay, so I've got the answer. Prem Kumar, both the answers are correct. So Prem Kumar was the first one to answer. Very good, Prem. Priyanshi, kilometers are correct. Meenu, 10 kilometers calculation is incorrect. Anshu, kilometers are correct. Jayendra, kilometers are correct. Neeraj Patel, both the answers are correct. Rohan Sahu, kilometers is correct. Pawan Kumar, kilometer calculation is incorrect. Vishal Chaudhary, 10 kilometers are correct. Priyanshi Tak, the calculation of 10 kilometers is incorrect. Okay, Anshu, so correct answer. Very good, Anshu. Sneha, very good. Now the distance calculated is correct. Okay, so Almas, both the answers are correct. Sneha, Chawla, both the answers are correct. Jayendra, please check the calculation of 10 kilometers. Booma, please check the calculation. Okay. Booma, please check the calculation of 10 kilometers. Pawan Kumar, please check the calculation of kilometers and the number of zeros. Rohan Sahu, correct answer. Kirti Hooker, calculate the, 39,000 you have posted. You can, Priyanshi. Kirti, you have posted the answer for kilometers or 10 kilometers, Kirti? Okay, the kilometer, please check the number of zeros, Kirti. Meenu, very good. The answer is correct. You can present the answer in diagrammatic form in exams also. So don't worry. Even it will be easy for the examiner to understand that, okay, this is the way you have calculated. Kirti, please check the number of zeros. Pawan Kumar, again, please recheck your answer. So see again, when talking about the calculation of kilometers, very simple. 15 kilometers onward, 15 kilometers return journey. Into how many days in a month? How many trips in a day? 5. Into 26 days in a month. So this will be 3,900 kilometers. So most of the students posted correct answer for the kilometer, but yes, in 10 kilometers, Bhuma, Priyanshi, your calculations were incorrect. In fact, Kirti also, your answer is incorrect. So see, when talking about the calculation of 10 kilometer, the onward journey, they are traveling 15 kilometers. With how much load? The load of 10 tons. In the return journey also, they are traveling for 15 kilometers. With how much load? No load. The truck is returning empty. So into 0. Into 5 plus 26 days. So 15,000 into 10, 1,500 and 15 kilometers into 10, this will be 1,500 and 15 into 0, this will be 0. So per trip, 10 kilometers is how much? 150. So 15 kilometer into 10 ton, that is 150 10 kilometers in one trip. Into 5 into 26, you will get the 10 kilometer, that is 19,500. Very good, Meenu. Now it is correct. Uma, Priyanshi, Kirti. I hope. Yes, I know this. That's why I have put up this question in front of you. It's not you. Many students did the same mistake. So, Kirti, I hope it is clear. Bhuma, Priyanshi, Pawan Kumar, I hope this part is clear to all of you guys. So when talking about kilometers, Pawan Kumar 15 kilometers gaya, 15 kilometers आया. Total 30 kilometers का एक ट्रिप है. Into 5 trips in a day. एक दिन में 5 बार ट्रैवल करता है. Into 26 days in a month. Yes, Prem Kumar, and I think you were the first one to post both the answers. Very good, Prem Kumar. Keep it up. And rest whose answers are incorrect, don't worry, guys. It happens sometimes, so it's okay. Try to post your answers when I'm putting up the question. It will help you to improve the concepts. And yes, you will gain confidence that, okay, I can solve new questions or tricky questions. So I'll be putting up, I'll not be putting up the straight away questions. I'll be adding one tricky point in every question. So this will boost your confidence also. So those who want to copy the question can please copy, giving you 1 or 2 minutes time, please. Bhuma, please check the solution. I have posted the solution. I have written the solution. I hope it is clear, Bhuma. So now we have discussed the trickiest part of the chapter, wherein we'll be calculating kilometers or ton kilometers, whatever it is. Now, as I mentioned earlier also, guys, this chapter is nothing but a very simple chapter. You have to simply calculate the total cost divided by units. Now, the tricky part was the calculation of units, that what we have already learned. Now, let's discuss few full-fledged question wherein we'll be calculating the total cost divided by units. We'll be getting the final answer. Now, see, in cost sheet, we discussed various points: prime cost, work cost, factory cost, cost of production, cost of goods sold. Here, when talking about the cost sheet of transportation industry, the format is very simple. When talking about the format of transportation industry, the format is very simple. What you have to do, you have to divide all the cost in three parts. Fixed cost, variable cost, and maintenance cost. So, standing oblique fixed cost, next is variable cost or running cost. And the last one is maintenance cost. So we can say that we will get the total cost divided by units. We'll be getting the cost per unit. So the format is very simple. You have to bifurcate the cost into three parts: fixed cost, variable cost or running cost, and maintenance cost. I request you guys to copy this format, please. Because this is that is given in the study material, Rohan, and this is the way we have to present the solution in exams. So let's start with the question, full-fledged question. Again, I'll be discussing the question from my material. The similar question is, Miss Subhashri, I just checked your answer. I think your kilometer calculation is incorrect, but yes, your ton calculation is correct. Ton kilometer calculation is correct. So very good, Subhashri. So let's discuss a full-fledged question. Example number 3. The same question is there in the study material also. So let's start with this example number 3. So ABC Transport Company has given a route of 40 kilometers long to run a bus. The bus cost the company a sum of rupees 10 lakh. So the cost of bus is 10 lakh rupees. It has been insured at the rate of 3% per annum. So the insurance cost is given, that is 3% per annum. The annual taxes amounts to rupees 20,000. The garage rent is 20,000 per month. Annual repairs are 2,04,000. The bus is likely to last for 2.5 years. the driver's salary will be 30,000 per month and the conductor salary will be 25,000 per month. In addition to 10% of the takings as commission. So apart from the salary, they will be getting commissions also, and the commission is to be shared by driver and conductor equally. The cost of stationery is 1,000 rupees per month. The manager cum accountant salary is 17,000 per month. The petrol and oil cost is rupees 500 for every 100 kilometer. So हर 100 kilometer पे 500 का petrol का खर्चा है. Okay, so we have to calculate the total kilometers to calculate the total petrol cost. The bus will make 3 up and down trips carrying on an average 40 passengers on each trip. The bus will run on an average 25 days in a month. Assuming 15% profit on takings, that is, takings means the total revenue or sales. Assuming 15% profits on taking, calculate the bus fare to be charged from each passenger. So let's start with this example, example number 3. So herein it's a full-fledged question. So we'll be preparing the statement of cost, and accordingly thereafter we'll calculate the unit and we will calculate the fare. So let's start with fixed oblique standing cost. See, the cost of bus is given, that is 10 lakh rupees, and the useful life is given, that is 2.5 years. So we can say we can easily calculate depreciation. The depreciation amount will be 4 lakh rupees. Now, next is insurance cost. So the cost of bus is 10 lakh into 3%. So this will be 30,000. Annual taxes amounting to rupees 20,000. Next is garage rent. So the garage rent is 20,000 per month into 12 months in a year. So this will be 2,40,000. Annual repairs are 2,04,000. It will go under repairs or maintenance cost. So 2,04,000 will be a part of maintenance cost. So we'll be writing this part separately. Further, the driver salary and conductor salary, we will be taking the fixed part in the fixed and commission in the variable part. Alternatively, you can do it on the variable part also. So driver salary, it is 30,000 per month. This will be 3 lakh. Cost of stationery is 1,000 per month. So this will be 12,000. Manager cum accountant salary, it is 17,000 per month. So this will be 2,04,000. I think I've covered all the fixed costs now. So let's calculate the total. So total fixed cost will be so this will be 15 lakh 66,000. Now let's start with the variable cost or running cost. So herein, when talking about the variable cost or running cost, see, here it is driver's commission, conductor's commission, and apart from this, the petrol and oil cost, and it is based on the number of kilometers traveled. So herein, we'll first calculate the distance traveled. So let's calculate the kilometer first. So the bus has been given a route of 40 kilometers long. So 40 kilometers onward plus 40 kilometers return into how many trips in a day? 3 trips in a day into 25 days in a month. Now, very important, guys. Herein, we are taking the figures of the full 12 months. So, herein, this is the monthly data. So, if we multiply it with by 12, we'll get the full yearly data, full yearly the distance travel. See, again, I repeat, guys, we have taken the cost for a year. So, for the in kilometer calculation, also, we'll be taking the yearly kilometers. So the kilometers will be 72,000 kilometers. Anyone having any doubts till now, you guys can please post. Very good, Vishal. So let's start with the calculation of petrol and oil. Sorry, it's diesel and oil. Very good, Priyanshi. Okay, petrol and oil. See, the cost is given that rupees 500 for every 100 kilometers. So total kilometers we are traveling 72,000. For every 100 kilometer we have to pay 500. Driver commission and conductor commission we have to calculate because it is depending upon the revenue. It is given that it is to be taken as 10% as commission on takings. So taking means the total revenue. So we will be discussing this part also. Don't worry, guys. This will be my total B. And last is the maintenance cost. So here in the annual repairs are given. That is 2,04,000. So this will be my total C. So still these two figures are missing in the total cost. Anyways, we'll calculate this part also. So now, total A, B, and C. But herein, when talking about the cost, still the commission part is pending. I'm erasing this calculation, guys. Those who want to copy this part, please copy because I'll be needing more space. Those who want to copy this calculation can please copy. I'll be needing more space. Very good, Gurmeet. Let me check. See, herein we have the cost, but excluding the driver and conductor commission. So let's take the cost. Excluding commission. So the cost excluding commission will be how much? 15,66,000 plus 3,60,000 plus 2,04,000. So this will be 21,30,000. That is 15,66,000 plus 3,60,000 plus 2,04,000. This is the cost excluding commission. In this, we have to add commission. We have to add profit. And then only we will get the total revenue or takings. Now see, very important, guys. Herein it is given that the profit is 15% of the revenue and the commission is 10% of the revenue. The profit is how much? 15%. Commission is 10%. So let's take revenue as 100. If we take revenue as 100%, out of this 100%, 15% is the profit, 10% is the commission. So balance that is left out is 75%. This will be what? The cost that is excluding commission. This will be 75%. So here and now we have this 21,30,000 cost excluding commission, and we have figured out that it is 75% of the revenue. So herein my revenue will be how much? 21,30,000 divided by 75%. So this will be 28,40,000 will be my total revenue. 28,40,000 will be my total revenue, and profit will be rest. The profit part and commission part we can easily calculate. So let's complete the statement. Commission will be how much? 2,84,000 will be my commission. So herein we have calculated the revenue. So let's put up in the main statement. So commission 2,84,000 is to be shared by driver and conductor equally. So 284 divided by 2, that is 1,42,000 and 1,42,000. My total variable cost will be 6,44,000. So my total cost will be A plus B plus C. That is 15,66,000 plus 6,44,000 plus 2,04,000. So 24,14,000 will be my cost. My profit will be 4,26,000 and my revenue will be 28,40,000. So this is the way you have to present the solution in exam. Now we have got the revenue, that is 28,40,000. Very good, Ms. Dharani. So we have got the total revenue, that is 28,40,000. Now see, read the question carefully, that what the question is asking. Calculate the bus fare to be charged from every passenger. So herein we have to calculate the bus fare to be charged from every passenger. So we have to calculate the passenger kilometers also. So let's calculate the passenger kilometer. So onward journey 40 kilometers with how many passengers? See again, it is given that on an average they are carrying 40 passengers in each trip. So 40 into 40 into the number of trips in a day, it is 3 into 25 days in a month into 12 months in a year. So this is 12 months, this is days, and this is trips. So this will be 28 lakh 80,000 passenger kilometers. So since space is the constraint, so I'm using the space. So we will be getting the fare per passenger kilometer, and this will be 28 lakh 40,000 divided by 28 lakh 80,000. So 0.986. So 0.986 is the amount we'll be charging from every passenger for every kilometer, for every kilometer travel. So we can say one-way fare will be how much? 0.986 is for every passenger for every kilometer. So 0.986 into 40 will be my one-way fare. So this will be 39.44. And round trip fare will be how much? 39.44 into 2. 78.88. So this is the way you have to solve the question. If you guys have anything in your mind, anything running in your mind, or any doubts or any queries or conceptual queries, you guys can please post. I think this part is not visible. So this is the complete solution. Very good, Gurmeet. Your answers are correct. Dharani, very good. Your answer is correct. Anyone else with any doubts or queries? I hope you guys are thorough with what I have discussed till now. Yes, anyone with any questions? Those who want to copy the working note, see the solution is there in the study material. Those who want to copy the working note or the presentation, you guys can, giving you 2 minutes time. Okay, Mr. Rohan, tell me.
Sir, in the question that it is given that the company has given a route of 40 kilometer long. So whether to consider it one way route or both
See,
way?
it's better to consider one way. If the total, it's like round trip and something like is given, then you have to consider that part. Rest, if it is given 40 kilometer wrong, it means it is one way only.
Okay, sir.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. Anyone else with any doubts or queries? Mr. Pawan Kumar, Vishal, Bhuma, Priyanshi, Meenu, Kirti, Jayendra, Sneha, Subhashri. Those who want to copy this explanation can please copy, especially the working note part. Rest, so everything is there in the study material. 8 marks, Priyanshi. Anyone else? पवन कुमार 40 किलोमीटर है और ये जो 40 है वो पैसेंजर्स हैं. These are 40 passengers. So fine, guys. Let's take a break of 15 minutes. I'll be back after 15 minutes with few more questions. So let's take a break of 15 minutes. Admin sir? Okay. So I hope you guys are thorough with what I have discussed till now. So now let's proceed further with one more question. Again, a very good question. So I'll be discussing now example number 4 from my material. I request you guys to please open my material. The same question is not there in the study material. So please, I request you guys to please download and open example number 4, slide number 6 from my material. So let's start with example number 4. Global Transport Limited charges rupees 90 per ton for its 6-ton truck lorry from city A to city B. So Global Transport Limited is a company that is charging rupees 90 per ton. Further, the capacity of the lorry is given, that is, the capacity is 6 tons, and they are going from city A to B. The charges for the return journey are 84 per ton only. So they are providing some concession, and the charges for the return journey are 84 per ton. No concession or reduction in these rate is made for any delivery of goods at intermediate station C. So apart from A and B, there is one more station, that is C, and that is an intermediate station. And they are not offering any sort of concession in the rates if you are unloading anything at station C. So the fares are same if you send anything from A to B or A to C, whatever it is. In January 2020, the truck made 12 outward journey for city B. So in the month of January, they made total 12 journeys for city B with the full load, out of which 2 tons were unloaded twice in the way at city C. Further, the truck carried a load of 8 tons in its return journey for 5 times. So now they're talking about return journey. So out of 12, 5 times they carried a load of 8 tons. That is above their capacity. But once caught by police and 1200 was paid as fine. For the remaining trip, that is for the remaining 7 trips. So from total 12 trips they made, of this 5 trips they carried a full load. They carried a load of 8 tons. So remaining trips are 7, and for the remaining 7 trips they returned with remaining one second. For remaining trips, the truck carried full load, out of which all goods on load were unloaded once at city C, but it returned without any load once only from city C to A. The distance between A to C and B is 140 and 300 kilometers respectively. Annual fixed cost and maintenance charges are 60,000 and 12,000 respectively. Running charges spent during the January 2020 are 2,944. You are required to find out the cost per absolute ton kilometer and profit for the month of January 2020. So it's a good question, bit on the trickier side, but again, guys, don't worry. Read the question patiently and then approach the question. Yes, Pooja, tell me.
Good morning, sir. Sir,
Good morning, my dear.
From where did I get this? You told us that you have provided a material so that
You can check it over the portal, my dear.
I am using the BOS app in my mobile. So from where?
Okay, listen. See, as of now, just take the screenshot.
Okay.
Please take the screenshot. Everyone, those who are not able to download the material, please take the screenshot.
Okay, sir.
It's done now?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Priyanshi. Okay, so now let's start with this question again. We'll go step by step. We will prepare it in a diagrammatic form and then we will solve it. So the trickier part is the calculation of absolute ton kilometers. So that is the trickier part. So let's start with this question. So there are three stations A and B. Pardon? So there are three stations A, B, and C. C is the intermediate station. So from A it is going to C, from C it is going to B, and in the return journey also it's not coming directly from B to A. They are going from B to C and C to A. So again it's going to C and from C to. So this is the diagrammatic presentation of the route chart of the bus. Now, very simple, guys. See, let's start with this question. See, in the January 2020, the truck made 12 outward journey for city B with the full load, out of which 2 tons were unloaded twice in the way at city C. So the capacity of the lorry is 6 tons. So they made 12 outward journey. So 12 into 6, 72 tons they loaded at station A and it was transported to cities. So 72 tons were loaded from station A and they started with the transportation. Now they are saying that 2 tons were unloaded twice at city C. It means total 4 tons were unloaded at city C. So out of 72, 4 tons were unloaded at city C. So balance tons that are transported from C to B is how much? 68. Anyone having any doubts till now? It's a bit lengthy, so just asking, anyone having any doubts till now? Okay. So let's proceed. Now, total number of journeys were 12. Total number of journeys were how much? 12. Now, for out of these 12 journey, for 5 times in the return journey, they carried a load of how much tons? 8 tons. So for 5 times, they carried a load of 8 tons. And for the remaining 7 times, they carried a load of the full capacity, that is 6 tons. This is what given in the question. See, I'm reading the question for your reference, that the truck carried a load of 8 tons in its return journey for 5 times. So out of 12, for 5 times, they carried a load of 8 tons. But once caught by police and they paid a fine of 1200 for the remaining trip. When talking about remaining trip, they are talking about 7 remaining trips. So for the remaining trips, the truck carried a full load, out of which all goods on load were unloaded once at city C. So now, for the 5 journey, they carried how much? 8 tons. So 8 5s are 40. 40 tons. It is going from B to A. Nothing is being unloaded at city C. Now, for the remaining 7 trips, they are saying that they carried a load of 6 tons, but unloaded once all the 6 tons at city C. So 7 into 6, 42 tons were loaded at city B. But out of these 42 tons, 6 tons were unloaded at city C once, and the truck goes empty from C to A. So of these 42 tons, 6 tons were unloaded. So we are left out with how many tons? 36 tons only. So total return journey 82 from B to C. Anyone having any doubts in this tons calculation, you guys can please post. Very good, Gurmeet. So see, return journey again, out of these 12 onward trips, 5 times they are returning with 8 tons. So 40 tons from B to A. So B to C also 40 tons, C to A also 40 tons. Now the remaining trips that are left out is 7 trips. So in 7 trips, they carried a load of full capacity. Full capacity means what? 42 tons. So 7 6 are 42. So 42 should have went till A. But they are saying that 42 tons were not transported from C to A. They unloaded 6 tons at city C. So the balance tons that are transported from C to A is only 36 tons. I hope Prem Kumar, this is clear. Anyone else with any doubts? Yes, anyone? Kirti, Jayendra, Kaushik, Neeraj, Mr. Mujahid, Pawan Kumar. Rohan, Sunil, Vishal, Meenu, Pooja, Shreya, Uma, Almas, Priyanshi, Sneha. It's a bit on the trickier side, so asking individually. Miss Tanmoji, anyone having any doubts? Okay, great. So now the hard work is over. Now the distance, when talking about the distance, it is given in the question that the distance from city A to C, it is 140 kilometers. And from A to B, it is 300 kilometers. So from 300 kilometers, 140 is adjusted here. So we are left out with 160 kilometers now. So in return also 160 kilometers. And here 140 kilometers. So now the diagram is ready. We can easily calculate the ton kilometer. So from A to C, C to B, again B to C, and C to A. So 72 into 140, 68 into 160, 160 into 82, so 82 into 160, 76 into 140. So let's calculate the total absolute ton kilometers. So this will be 44,720. Anyone having any doubts in this calculation, you guys can please post your query. Very good, Almas. Anyone having any doubts? So this is the easiest way to solve this question, wherein we have converted this question into a diagram and then we have solved the question. Sir, 160 कहाँ से आया? See, A to B का रास्ता जो है 300 किलोमीटर से, उसमें से 140 किलोमीटर A to C है. So out of 300, 140 is A to C. So C to B will be 160 per one. So we are done with this calculation. Now let's prepare the statement of cost. So fixed. So fixed cost is 60,000 and it is annual. So monthly fixed cost will be how much? 5,000. Variable oblique running cost, it is given, that is 2,944. And maintenance cost, it is given 12,000, so it will be 1,000. So 5 plus 1, 6, 7, 8, 8,944. You are required to calculate the cost per absolute ton kilometer. So this is my total cost divided by ton kilometers. That is 44,720. So cost per ton kilometer will be how much? 0.2. Further, very important point, guys. 1,200 is the fine that is paid to police. So this is an abnormal cost and it will not form part of cost sheet. So fine of rupees 1,200 being an abnormal cost, will not form part of. So any sort of fines, penalties, or any abnormal cost or loss will never form part of cost sheet. That is what I have discussed in cost sheet, and the same goes with this part also, that is service costing. So any sort of fines or penalties will not form part of cost sheet. Thereafter, let's prepare the statement of profit also. So let's take the revenue first. So for onwards journey and return journey, so in the onward journey, they loaded 72 tons. And it is mentioned clearly in the question that no concession will be offered if the goods are unloaded at city C. कोई भी concession नहीं मिलेगा अगर C पे आपने कोई भी goods का unloading किया है. So 72 tons into the onward rate is rupees 90 per ton. And in the return journey, total tons loaded were 82 into 84 rupees. So 13,368. Further, we have to subtract the cost. that is 8944. Now, since this is a statement of profit, so we will consider all the cost. Since we have to calculate the net profit, so 1200, that is the fine paid, will be deducted from here. So these types of questions examiner do ask frequently. So this is the way you guys have to solve the question. Anyone with any doubts, queries, confusions, how this calculation, you guys can ask me freely. I'm here for you guys. In the meanwhile, those who don't have any doubts, giving you 5 minutes time to copy each and everything in detail. Priyanshi, please check. Pawan Kumar, Prem Kumar, I hope it is clear now. Any doubts, Subhashri? Okay, anyone having any doubts, guys? Else I'll be putting up a question in front of you. What is this, Pawan Kumar? I'm not getting what you are saying. Okay, so a question for you. "72 tons I bought from 12 trips into 6 tons. So this is how I got 72 Pawan. Okay, what will be your answer? A question for you guys. A question for you. What will be the profit if the transport company provides 40% concession if goods are unloaded at city C? So, what will be the profit if the transport company provide 40% concession if the goods are unloaded at city C? So, waiting for your answers now. What will be the profit? What will be the final profit if the transport company provide 40% concession if the goods are unloaded at city C? So, waiting for your answers, guys. There will be no change in this solution. No change in this solution. The solution will change here, wherein you have to calculate the revised revenue. So, waiting for your answers. So, Miss Gurmeet, waiting for your answer. Prem Kumar. A simple change in the calculation. Waiting for your answers. You are posting the revenue, or please recheck your answer, Jayendra. See, the Jayendra, the revenue will decrease, not increase. So please recheck. The new figure will be less than this figure. Waiting for your answers, Gurmeet, Jayendra, Miss Dharani. So the revenue is okay. So I have got one answer from Miss Dharani. Rest all waiting for your answers. So Gurmeet has also posted the answer. Rohan, your answer and Dharani's answer is same. And Gurmeet and Meenu answer is more or less same. It's a simple calculation, guys. Rest all waiting for your answers, guys. Vishal, Almas. Booma, Kirti, Subhashri, where are you guys? Waiting for your answer. Kaushik, Neeraj, I want everyone to post the answers. See, I'm addressing each and every student's query, so every student should post the answers. This is a query from my side, so I just need your help and suggestions. Yes, Priyanshi, Sneha, Miss Tanmoji, Uma, Shreya. Waiting for your answers, guys. I have just made a small change in the question. That's it. Nothing more than that. So, 1 second. Let me check. So, net profit is 2878. Dharani, Miss Dharani, the loss is 2123. Fine, guys. This is a homework for you. Do be ready with the final answer in the next session. 40% concession of the fare, that is 90 and 84. 90 and 84 is the fare. So what if in case if they're offering 40% concession on the fare, Priyanshi? So I've got answer from Sneha also, Prem Kumar also, but everyone answer is different. In fact, I've got more than 7 answers, 7 different answers from everyone. Anyways, guys, that's okay. Make sure that you are ready with the answers in the coming session. Dr. Seen Gupta sir is here to guide you guys. So please, good morning, sir. Please,
Good
sir.
morning. Good morning. Yes, thank you, Mr. Vipin, and good morning to all dear students from Board of Studies Academic. Sir is teaching all the concept, and you are practicing. I can see that you also are participating in various questions, which has been done by Vipin sir. Uh, a few areas since we'll be starting the service costing and we have started today, and there are few other sessions also. So what are the major things you will be concentrating, particularly from examination point of view? Please see that initially in the service costing there was only one or two areas, that was mainly operating costing, or maybe the hotels, maybe transportation, bus, airlines, etc. Now, over a period of time, there are certain complications. Service industry has gone very big. So the importance of service costing has also increased. So in service costing, there are various service industry which are now part of it. Already I told you, all transport companies, all transport, whether it is rail, whether it is air, whether it is bus, then there is hotels and lodges, and different type of permutation and combination can be there. In various hotels, there can be off season, there can be peak season, there can be mid season. Hotels and resorts, particularly, they try to offer different facilities, swimming pool, gym, and many other facilities, maybe a side tour. So, cost benefit analysis we need to see again and again. And then there can be hospitals also. Hospitals, one of the very prominent service industry nowadays. So hospitals per day expenditure, if there is a package of any operation, for an example, a heart surgery is going to be there. There may be, a package which is offered by the hospital. So how that is going to be beneficial for the hospital industry. And please keep in mind, just one level advance, I can tell it to you, when you are operating in this kind of industry, जब आप इस type of industry में काम करते हैं या इसके बारे में काम करते हैं, hospitals, particularly hospitals जहाँ पे health लोगों के depend करता है, वहाँ पे आपको ethics भी देखना होगा. because profitability सिर्फ important नहीं है, because we are doing something good for the humanity. तो वहाँ पे ethics factor also will come, and we should be advocating in such a way that which is good for overall company के लिए भी benefit है, and जो service आपके पास ले रहे हैं patient, that is beneficial to them also. IT इंडस्ट्री के ऊपर आपका कॉस्ट शीट हो सकता है, सर्विस इंडस्ट्री सर्विस कॉस्ट शीट बनाना पड़ सकता है. टोल, ये हम लोगों ने ऐड किया. बहुत सारे टोल आप देखते होंगे जब भी आप बाहर जाते हैं, वेन एवर यू ट्रैवल ऑन ए रोड ऑन ए लॉन्ग लॉन्ग journey, then you need to pay toll. How those toll cost is determined, so you need to know that as well. Educational institutions, various educational institutions, particularly school colleges, how they prepare their cost sheet, how they charge that from the students, what are the models. Then there can be financial institution as well. It can be bank, it can be the financial institution who are providing you the loans, and there can be some other organization like boilers and other service industry. So service industry, what I mean to say, has gone big, and it is not only the cost which is associated, but also other qualitative factors also you need to keep in mind. So when you are talking about the toll road, the model may be beneficial, model may be break even, but at the same time, you need to ensure that the maintenance of the toll road is also there. Or so a different perspective, what I'm trying to tell it to you. So first you understand the concept, prepare for your examination, then I will request you to go little bit beyond that. Understand that how we are going to recover the cost from the people who are using the services, because service industry is little different from manufacturing industry, and a lot of this service industry is having certain other objective. Questions के अंदर थोड़े थोड़े ट्रिकी चीजें रहता है, कौन सा कॉस्ट कहाँ पे आएगा, कैसे ट्रीटमेंट होगा, ये सारी चीजों को आपको बहुत अच्छे से देखना है. और आप प्रेडिक्ट मत करिए कि लास्ट टाइम ये इंडस्ट्री का क्वेश्चन आया था तो इस बार ये इंडस्ट्री का क्वेश्चन आएगा, इसमें मत रहना. नोबडी कैन टेल कि कौन सी सर्विस इंडस्ट्री से क्वेश्चन आएगा, बट इतना है सर्विस इंडस्ट्री से क्वेश्चन आएगा. That's why we have also enough sessions for you for this particular topic. This is, I feel, Mr. Bipin, I think you will agree with me, one of the most important chapter in today's scenario.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, we know that standard costing, marginal costings, all are there. Marginal costing का भी short term decision में काफी involvement रहता है. लेकिन practically आप अगर देखो, future orientation देखो, इनमें से कोई ना कोई service industry के में भी you will be working, or maybe some of this industry will be your client. So why not to know more about this, industries, from your teacher, from the study material, from the sessions we have. और कोई भी क्वेश्चंस आपका है इस चैप्टर से रिलेटेड, इज एम आई विजिबल?
यस सर, वो फ्लिकरिंग है थोड़ा सा.
अच्छा, so you please go through the concept, all the concept sir will teach you, and whatever the question is there in your mind, my dear students, we are always there to help you. Sir is always there, and the board of studies always is there to help you. वेरिएबल कॉस्ट, फिक्स कॉस्ट का ट्रीटमेंट नॉर्मली होता है, जैसे वेरिएबल कॉस्ट विच वेरीज विद द यूनिट, लेकिन यहाँ पे ना उस तरीके से नहीं आता है, बिकॉज दिस इज नॉट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इंडस्ट्री. सो कॉस्ट का जो,
सर यू आर नॉट ऑडिबल एंड विजिबल सर.
अब ठीक है?
नाउ इट इज ओके सर.
So you keep these factors in mind, for whenever you will be doing this questions, that क्या एग्जामिनेशन में आ सकते हैं, और इसके जो कॉस्ट है वो नॉर्मल कॉस्ट से थोड़ा डिफरेंट होता है, सर्विस इंडस्ट्री के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है, नेचर ऑफ द कॉस्ट के ऊपर उसके ट्रीटमेंट डिपेंड करता है, इसके फॉर्मेट अलग अलग इंडस्ट्री के अलग अलग होता है, लेकिन कंसेप्चुअली अगर आप देखोगे ऑल आर सेम, इसमें कोई डिफरेंस नहीं है. सो नॉर्मल जो, हाँ मैंने ये क्वेश्चंस का आंसर किया है. जो बच्चे ने पूछा था, एनी क्राइटेरिया डिफरेंस बिटवीन वेरिएबल सर्विस में, तो सर्विस इंडस्ट्री में थोड़ा टिपिकल कॉस्ट है, उस पर्टिकुलर इंडस्ट्री में कैसे कॉस्ट होता है। जैसे टोल में जो कॉस्ट है वो आपके होटल में नहीं आएंगे, सो डिफरेंस होंगे। यस, जेप्टो, ब्लिंकिट, ऑब्वियसली डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ सर्विस इंडस्ट्री। ये एक एक मॉडल फॉलो करते हैं। ये जो आप ओला की बात करते हो, उबेर की बात करते हो, या ब्लिंकिट की बात करते हो, जेप्टो की बात करते हो, जारा की बात करते हो, इसमें सारे एक एक मॉडल फॉलो करते हैं। जो आप फाइनल में जब आप स्ट्रेटेजिक कॉस्ट मैनेजमेंट का पेपर देखोगे, देन यू विल सी दैट देर आर मॉडल्स विच इज फॉलोड बाय ईच ऑफ दिस इंडस्ट्री। सो प्रैक्टिकली भी आपको देखना है, बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है। आप सिर्फ एग्जाम ओरिएंटेड अप्रोच मत रखो इसमें। एग्जाम को तो करना ही है, सारे ट्रीटमेंट करना है, बट इसके बियॉन्ड इस पर्टिकुलर चैप्टर से आपको बहुत कुछ मिल सकता है। तो बहुत सारे मॉडल्स हैं बेटा, श्रेया, मिस श्रेया। एंड ये मॉडल्स जनरली स्ट्रेटेजिक कॉस्ट मैनेजमेंट जब आप फाइनल में देखोगे, अभी इस फॉर्म में है वो पेपर, सेट ए सेट बी में ये पेपर इंक्लूडेड है, बट आई एम श्योर दैट ये सारे मॉडल्स आप पढ़ोगे एंड ये सारे आएंगे। ये सारे बिजनेस मॉडल फॉलो करते हैं, टिपिकल एक एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का एक एक मॉडल ये लोग फॉलो करते हैं। किसी को कुछ मॉडल है, किसी को कुछ मॉडल है, बट ऑल आर हैविंग देयर मॉडल। एंड सर्विस इंडस्ट्री इज डिफरेंट और स्पेशल, पर्टिकुलरली टू दोज इंडस्ट्री। आप एयरलाइंस की बात करो फॉर एन एग्जाम्पल, airlines is requirement also, rail is a requirement also, hospital is a requirement also. So profit cost ये सारे factors रहते भी there are certain ethical part, there are certain qualitative part जो हम न्यूमेरिकल करने के टाइम में उतना हमें याद नहीं रहता है, उतना हम सोचते नहीं है, but those factors are also important. I think Bipin sir, you will agree with me regarding this.
Yes, sir.
So very important concepts. I thought sir आपको सारे concept बताएंगे, मैं थोड़ा सा इस chapter की importance बताता हूँ, क्या क्या coverage होगा वो बताता हूँ। Obviously we'll come back once again in one of the session जहाँ पे थोड़ा exam oriented क्या चीजें आप face कर सकते हो, क्या problem आप face कर सकते हो, based on our experience, that also will tell you. Yes, Shreya, thank you very much. If anybody is having any quick question, yes, Pavan, thank you very much. If thanks to your sir, in fact, not to me, he has taken this session very well, and thank you, Bipin sir, for your session.
Thank you so much for your time and your guidance, sir. So, as sir said, that every industry is different, every industry have a different model. So, there is no fixed pattern that, okay, you have to follow this pattern for every industry. The cost may vary from industry to industry, the units may vary from industry to industry. Again, apart from the daily cost, the investment that the companies are making before starting with the business, these investments are also very important when it comes to the fixing up of the selling price or fare or whatever it is. So we'll be discussing many more concepts in the coming session. There are 3 more sessions on service costing. So we'll be discussing many more concepts. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for your time and patience. It's already 9:38 now. So thank you so much for your time and patience and for active participation in the session.
And
Further, I request...
From my side also, thank you all the students for your interaction. And whenever there is a question in your mind, it's always nice that you are putting your questions, you are participating also. एक यूनिट एंड बैच कॉस्टिंग का सेशन को लेके एक क्वेरी मैंने देखा अभी. I will inquire from the office कि क्या situation है. Then I will get back to you, Mr. Prem. Okay. So again, thank you from Board of Studies Academic as well. Thank you, and thank you, Bipin sir. And
Thank you, sir. Thank you
please
so much
join
for your
all of
guidance.
you. Please join in numbers for the next class. Next class is going to be Thursday and same time.
So I request you guys to join, to come over Zoom. Whatever the questions you have, you guys can ask your questions. These sessions are conducted for your benefits only, for you guys only. So take the maximum out of it. So God bless you guys. Do revise what I have discussed till now. And again, be ready with the answer of the question what I have asked in this session. So see you guys on Thursday. Take care. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
अशोक जी, सिर्फ लाइव बंद कीजिए अभी.